Greetings, everyone. It's an honor to join you on behalf of USDA and Secretary Perdue today, albeit virtually, to discuss just how exciting a time it is in agriculture right now. Indeed, we're in a true technology and innovation renaissance within agriculture. Did you know that agriculture production has increased 400% with 10% less land over the past 90 years? Did you know that agriculture in 2020 uses the same level of input that it did in 1930 to achieve the 400% increase? And did you know that the average lifespan of Americans has gone from 49 to over 80 years in that same time frame? The length and quality of life for Americans is a direct response to having safe, abundant, and affordable food. Innovation is the reason for that. Agriculture has introduced many new ideas to farmers and has created new solutions for consumers, like using remote sensing from satellites to plan precision irrigation of crops or monitor drought from space. Albert Einstein famously told us we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Success often comes from finding the big idea that tackles problems and changes the way we do things. Consider the way we watch movies today. In 1997, we evolved from VHS to DVD in favor of greater storage capacity and improved picture quality and sound. Then in 2005, we were introduced to streaming movies on demand, and the pandemic may have further accelerated this migration and made it permanent. Similarly, USDA scientists revolutionized American agriculture in the past 50 years, pioneering technological advancements, including the use of artificial intelligence and research labs, satellite technologies, and precision techniques on the farm. But despite our past successes, we don't rest on our laurels. We challenge ourselves to discover the next bold, intentional disruption in agriculture. Routinely, USDA researchers ask themselves, how can we solve this problem? Is there a better way to do this, or what if? Our in-house scientists at the Agriculture Research Service, or ARS as we call it, seek to strategically disrupt commonly held assumptions to ignite agricultural innovation. ARS is a national treasure, with research locations across the country that are committed to using big data and AI to help our ranchers keep their animals healthy and farmers to grow safe, nutritious crops. From developing a livestock heat stress map, which is available online, to collaborating with the private sector to construct the first self-propelled apple harvesting and field scouting prototype machine, ARS scientists are using sound research and computing power to generate better outcomes for farmers and consumers. We're also partnering with university scientists to develop environmentally sustainable tools and practices, including designing agriculture robots, devising instruments for crop and soil monitoring, and developing predictive analytics. For example, ARS and university scientists developed a new laser-guided spraying system for orchard crops that controls spray outputs to match targeted tree structures, minimizing pesticide use and off-target effects of those pesticides. Our citizens should never fear their food. USDA is the only federal agency playing the dual role in protecting agriculture and public health from farm to fork to ensure a safe, nutritious, and secure food supply. The National Institute of Food and Agriculture, also known as NIFA, invests in funding for artificial intelligence research, education, and extension to ensure the safety and quality of our agricultural products. They've been leaders in this regard. A good example is the recent NIFA-funded project with scientists at the University of Kentucky using unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones, to non-invasively monitor cattle health. Herd loss costs the cattle industry more than $1 billion each year, with nearly 3 million cows in the U.S. dying from health issues and problems. By using drones to remotely and autonomously check on the location and health of each cow, farmers will be able to address cattle health and safety issues much sooner. NIFA-funded researchers at Florida International University are also developing an artificial intelligence machine learning system that can help predict the likelihood of mycotoxin risk based on various climatic, pre-harvest, and post-harvest crop factors. Mycotoxins, as you may know, are produced by fungi that grow on many fruits, cereals, and nuts and can cause severe illness and disease in both humans and animals, and result in losses of approximately $1 billion per year in the United States. USDA scientists are also using new technologies to evaluate data. Our economists within the Economic Research Service, or ERS, are using machine learning both for augmenting traditional research methods and advanced predictive modeling tools for crop yield prediction from weather data. Combining classical statistical models with deep learning neural networks, these methods predict crop yields over large scales more accurately than any other published approach. And at the National Ag Statistics Service, or NASS, surveyors are increasing efficiency using artificial intelligence software to evaluate multiple survey estimates, edit survey data, and access spatial and environmental data to help us understand and assess the impact of hurricanes and other weather events, as well as many other uses. These are just a few examples of how USDA science agencies are working together to deliver a novel approach to producing data-driven results using artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other innovative tools to propel American agriculture. But we can't stop there. There's more to do and more to discover. We must build on our rich legacy of innovation. Our recently launched USDA Science Blueprint outlines our needed capabilities and science priorities for the next 5 years and beyond. The blueprint helps coordinate USDA science initiatives in 5 overarching program themes. Sustainable ag intensification, which is essentially doing more with less, continuing that slope and continuing that line of productivity without having a deleterious effect on our soil, water, and air. New approaches such as regenerative agriculture, fueled by digital and precision, can help in this regard. A second key theme is ag climate adaptation, to ensure that as we attempt to mitigate impacts of greenhouse gases, we also have an eye on adapting as well, to make sure that our crops can deal with the new conditions, that they're prepared for it, as well as our animals in agriculture. Food and nutrition translation, to embrace the new paradigm of precision nutrition, where an individual's DNA is actually linked up with what we know about the impact of foods on chronic diseases and individual susceptibility to chronic diseases. Such an exciting field. Ag science policy leadership surrounds everything and ensures that we are always using data-based approaches and evidence-based approaches to set policies. Science policies in particular must really respect the evidence-based approach, and we want the U.S. to stand tall in agriculture as always utilizing good science and good evidence for making decisions. And of course, the last theme is value-added innovations, where we are always seeking ways to improve our ability not just to produce but to protect the environment, to make food more affordable and more healthy and more nutritious, to avoid food loss and waste. So these are 5 key themes that we have as capability build within USDA. Each of those themes has established objectives, strategies, and evidence building measures. And as much as the blueprint defines the capabilities to build and kind of defines the next era of agriculture, the USDA Agriculture Innovation Agenda outlines the discovery goals that will accelerate our pace. In this next era of agriculture, we need to accelerate both innovation and technology to keep America's food and fiber supply strong and maintain long-term production capability. When Secretary Perdue announced the USDA Agriculture Innovation Agenda goals in February, he challenged us to create new opportunities to transform U.S. agriculture. The Ag Agenda highlights USDA's goals of increasing U.S. agricultural production by 40% to feed a growing world, while cutting the environmental footprint of U.S. agriculture in half by 2050. These are big goals and big ambitions, and we'll have to think differently on how to get there, but we're up for that challenge. Inclusive in the agenda is creation of U.S. Ag Innovation Strategy, which is a partnership between the public and private sector, we believe, that focuses on 4 innovation clusters. And these 4 innovation clusters were identified through a National Academies of Sciences report that published not too long ago. Genome design, really harnessing the power of gene editing and all the other techniques that are in that space to allow us to not just focus on productivity or traditional uses, but to improve photosynthesis, to develop soil microbiome, for example, that could fix nitrogen to reduce the loss of nitrogen in the soil. So many potential applications, not just to support production, but to support that production capability I've referenced, to support the development and the health of the soil, the air, and the water. Digital and automation, yes, we've started this journey and we are down the road, but so much more is ahead of us. Consider what would have happened, how the food chain might have been different during the pandemic had we had more automation in our food processing plants. And so much more opportunity for automation in harvesting and in planting and in all of the things that allow agriculture to be so efficient today. Prescriptive intervention, learning from the past, the big data, learning from all that we know about the soil and the environment in the past, what we know in the present, and really predicting and intervening as we go, whether it's seed density, whether it's seed type, whether it's animal breed, whether it's pest control, so many opportunities for prescriptive intervention. And systems-based management, which really ties it all together. You know, in agriculture, many of our biggest innovations have really been adopted and embraced because they have reduced complexity in a very complex system. Now, with these opportunities in digital automation, prescriptive intervention, and genomics, we have the opportunity to embrace that complexity because we can make the interface such that the farmer and the rancher can utilize that, adapt it to their business goals and operational goals, and move forward with that complexity as opposed to trying to simplify or reduce complexity. Those 4 innovation clusters are so exciting and give so much hope and potential for the next era of agriculture. So make no mistake, USDA is investing in innovation, and it has been the driver of our success and will continue to be our focus. The USDA emblem on our flag says, agriculture is the foundation of manufacture and commerce, and now we could add high technology. As agriculture has become efficient, the U.S. now only requires 2% of our citizenry to produce our food. This opens up everything and has been the reason the U.S. is a global economic leader. But our current mantra from Secretary Perdue is do right and feed everyone, which describes our motivation to even further innovate and transform agriculture and our food systems. Thank you for the opportunity to participate in today's activities, and I wish you all the very best in the program. Thank you.